You know what time it is, folks. It's time for more Doc Reo TV. This is Doc, and guess where I'm at? I'm at the NABShow. You know about the NABShow, don't you? That is the National Association of Broadcasters exhibition show. Now, I've also got a chance to take a look at some of the classes they have at NABShow that help us broadcasters figure out some of the solutions and products that we can use to make it to the next level, or even to build our stations bigger. There are quite a few companies on the floor today. I actually interviewed a couple of them. And those that I interviewed were more focused on things that I think students and educators would need to know for the future of broadcasting and digital convergence. Several vendors are on the showroom floor. Vendors like JVC, Panasonic, and Canon, who have big booths and massive crowds. But there's a lot to learn. Well, because it's the end of the day, JVC is gone already. But as you see, there's definitely a lot of camera systems and camera tools out here for any filmmaker. Here at Panasonic, they have a similar setup. As you can see, there's a plethora of cameras out so that you can see how these particular products are being used on set. Get a feel for using them on set. And if you haven't taken the opportunity to come out to the NABShow, I suggest you do. There are plenty of opportunities for students, educators, and professional broadcasters. We talked to companies like Dejero, DMBroadcast, Seervision, Eagle Eye, and ESports. Then we went over to Zoom to see if they had any new products. Well, they do have some new products for serious broadcasters. But what I want to talk about today is what's going on over at Eagle Eye and Seervision. Check it out.
So here we are at NAB 2019, and we're having here the Eagle Eye that we developed in Switzerland. What's really nice about this camera system is, like, obviously you can get shots flying over crowds. You can use it for entertainment, you can use it for sports, you can use it for studio as well. I think what's really unique is, like, flying over people. People love that perspective. People love seeing those angles on TV. At the moment, we did hook up with Seervision, what we have here right now. It's following that person at the moment, so it's a software tracking that we're testing here right now. So it's tracking the person, it's following the person, and so that's software based. You're flying in 3D space. That's software based as well. That control that we have, you can have safety boundaries, so you're not bumping into, like, any lights or any person. You can put it on a 2-meter height level, so people are not being endangered by this flying monster there. Yeah, you can fly in big stadiums, 100 to 200 meters. It's up to 91 feet a second, so it's quite fast. We can't demonstrate that here because we are in a confined space. Yeah, so you can go really fast, almost a Formula 1, almost, but no. So software that can track the image itself. We have software that controls where the camera sits in space of 3D. You can fly around. What's really unique about this system is you don't need any additional wireless system. Inside of this wire, we have a fiber cable that transmits all the information, all the even the return vision that comes back from the camera that you see in the monitor here. That is actually coming back through the wire, but it also sends signals like the remote controls. All of that is going through that one fiber cable, and so you don't need an additional wireless system, something to control your zoom, your focus, your iris, whatever. So you can also run networks through that. So all of that that's what makes this product, Eagle Eye, quite intuitive. Is you don't need additional, somewhat wireless systems, and it's Swiss design. And you can put any like common cameras on it. You can put direct cameras on there if you do big production. Anything like up to 8 kilograms. So basically, all you get is those like 4 cases in the mount, and you can put any camera on it. You can put your camera on it. as well. So it's mounted in like 4 corners of this room, and it should be secured to like 500 kilograms, and then from there, like it can hold like obviously a gimbal and quite a heavy camera. Like the camera itself, like at the moment we have like 6 kilograms on there, so it can go more. It can go like a bigger camera than this. You choose your lens and you choose your camera body. A lot of people put wide lenses on there, and you can get this really nice smooth wide shots, flying over a crowd, flying like into a stadium, or like a sporting event or a concert, whatever you like. And it looks really nice, like really smooth. You don't see any shaking, and that's what you want. You want to get the money shot. So this is the money shot right here.
We are Seervision, and we are a Swiss startup. We work with something which is called adaptive motion control. Maybe it's not that clear for everyone what it is, but basically what we do is like we have a robotic cameraman. So we have a camera which can adapt pan tilt, zoom and focus. The main feature of our product is that we can track people, which you can see there. We have a computer vision screen which is basically showing our computer vision, and it's really triggering everyone to our booth. So I think it's a great thing. So what we can do, it's like we can basically choose a person, one which is visible in the frame, and then we can make a camera track this person and basically keep it always the same location in the frame. So basically we automate the cameraman. So we automate this, what he will do, right? How do we automate? So this is a combination of computer vision and robotics. So the point is that we are a software company, so we are hardware agnostic. We can work with any pan tilt unit and we can work with any lens. As soon as we know the specifications, we can adapt for it. So basically, any camera which is mounted on an eagle eye can also work with our software. We don't get rid of people. We still need people for creative work. We still need people for control of the whole process. What do? It's like we give them a tool. So basically we make their work more creative. We get rid of all of these boring parts where a cameraman needs to do. So like, I don't know, if it's like a studio situation and like some kind of recording when he just needs to move left and right and zoom in, we make it all automatic. So basically, but we still need a person who is controlling the software, who is choosing the shots, who is controlling the cameras. But just instead of having 5 bored cameramen controlling 5 cameras, we have one person who can work creatively in a creative way with all of them within our software. We use computer vision, so it's all image-based. We don't need any other tools. So we have a frame, and then we have basically object recognition, so we recognize people. We make a face detection and also a posture detection, so we have points. We build kind of a skeleton of a person. So we have 18 points on a person's skeleton, which indicates there's a person. Then we identify people, and then we can choose a VIP, which is tracked. This is all obviously machine learning and neural networks. I think it's hype, so it makes sense.
The folks at DMBroadcast have a lot to say about new broadcast technologies. So, check out what they had in store.
So we are from DMBroadcast from Italy, and we provide a complete turnkey solution for radio, TV or radio vision studio setup. We can provide the complete solution or only some equipment. For example, we are also system integrators. So we can provide only cameras, soundproofing, or the complete desk for control room, the speaker room for the radio, the TV studio set with the light, everything. We make also the online training or the on-site training. We come directly on site to make the installation and make the training for the staff. The main software works on a workstation, on Windows. But with the external application, you can manage it from the tablet maybe. For example, Android tablet, you can manage graphics, cameras, audio jingle, audio effect, everything. But the main computer in the studio. We can provide also the hardware, the complete hardware solution with the audio card, video card, professional, the desk, the monitors, the keyboard, the mouse, everything. Most of the packages are the complete solution because most of our customers are new radio station or new TV stations, so they bought all of the systems, all of the equipment. Some of our customers start from the web, for example. Maybe for the radio station, they start as a web radio station with a small mixer, only 1 or 2 microphones, the basic license of the software, and after some times, when they earn money, they will upgrade. They change mixer, they increase the number of microphones, they add the processor, they increase the license software so they can use it for multiple studios, from editing, everything. The same for the TV station. We have also the radio version, the audio version for the software. This is for radio vision, but this here you have the audio version of our system for radio station, for example. We can also provide the editing software for audio, for graphics for the TV, for example, where you can make your crawl text, your graphic, your animated graphic.
Now let's talk about Dejero, who are streamlining satellite feeds of live broadcasts for broadcast stations.
So at Dejero, we do blended connectivity. And as part of that, one of the things that we've launched at this show is our Iron Route product, where we've taken some of our existing products, we've put them together in a format to provide international content distribution for remote edge connectivity. So what we've done is we've set up in partnership with our partner Intelsat nodes around the world. So we have nodes in Slovenia, we have nodes in Singapore, we have nodes across the US, Mexico, and what these edge nodes have is very reliable connectivity. We've blended broadband with cellular and satellite to create a network that allows them to transmit and receive live video at each of those nodes, with the middle being a multi-point cloud solution to allow it to be multiplexed to multiple locations. So that's one of the things we're doing with Iron Route. For the user, it's really seamless because what they're doing and care about is sending and receiving that live video, routing that into their own systems for playout. What we're doing is providing the connectivity that almost under the covers expect that it's always there. The problem is when it's not, their workflow's beyond that shut down. So we've gone into several companies to prove out this concept, and what we saw is that with broadband connections, they often are losing that connectivity. So what would happen is their video would cut out, they wouldn't necessarily know why because they're not monitoring their network connections. So not only are we providing the monitoring on those network connections, we're now solving the problem when they do cut out. Before they lived with it essentially, it was a real problem and pain point for them. Or they would solve it with an expensive satellite-only connection, which if they run into different weather or things that prevented that satellite connection, they didn't have the other options available to them as well. When our technology started with the blending technology of the network connections was really around live video contribution from the field. So we continue to support the live video contribution from the field with our Engo unit. What we've added to the platform with this particular release right now is our return video server. So what the return video server called the Q-Point does is you allow a server to be installed in the station where they can plug in their SDI video feed to the server, and then from the server they can feed that out to any device in the field. So it might be to just a browser on your phone, it might be to an iPad browser. It allows the person in the field to be able to monitor what the actual live broadcast looks like. So if they're a weather person, they can see where their weather overlays are, they can see what's in the background. If they have a multi-camera event, they can have all the different folks at the multi-cameras, the different camera stations, see what's actually live at the time so that they're prepared with what they're doing on their camera view. So the low latency is something that we're particularly proud of with this product. We're sub 250 milliseconds with the latency on this.
Later, I sat in on a conference for esports. A lot of good information. Here's the highlights.
Video.org, and I've covered one of the coolest projects that I've ever seen, and I'm not just blowing smoke, it really is interesting. I've covered this a lot, and that's the ESports Stadium, Arlington. We have different pieces of this project all up on stage here. Everybody kind of played a separate role, and you're going to get a little bit of an insight into what went on in designing, constructing, and now producing live esports out of the largest esports facility in North America.
And we've seen obviously a tremendous amount of growth popularity around digital consumption, whether it's Twitch, YouTube, many different media platforms. But we've now reached a point where there's a need for physical infrastructure. And how can we apply the knowledge of, for our practice, 30 plus years of designing venues all around the world, whether it's Yankee Stadium or Olympic main stadiums or Tottenham's new ground in England, or T-Mobile here in Las Vegas. How can we take that knowledge and apply that to a digital sport? But something that's amazing, that brings people together for a socialized experience, and something that creates memories, and something that ultimately we believe is going to propel esports in many ways. So we really began to study it very succinctly. 5-6 years ago, we talked to a lot of partners in the industry. We spoke to people at Goldman Sachs, people that were really studying it at a data level. And we began a lot of thought leadership, and we really began to explore what are the possibilities, what are the sort of design initiatives that need to take place in a building like this. And we were ultimately hired by Neil Liebman with the Texas Rangers, who invested heavily into an esports company and wanted to plant a flag in the center of the United States and open the first purpose-built esports stadium in North America. And so everyone that you see on stage today was very instrumental.
Except for me.
Except for Jason. Very instrumental, though, in terms of being great partners and helping us bring this to life. And so November of last year, we opened our doors to the ESports Stadium in Arlington, and we're going to show you here briefly. And then at the very end, we're going to give you a little glimpse into the future as well. So I'm going to just kind of tee this up with a few slides, and then we're going to open up the panel session. I need to stand up so I can see. Okay. So as I mentioned, every sport has a cathedral. This is a new project that we're doing in London, actually. It's called the Sphere. You'll be learning more about this in the next few months, but a pretty incredible experience. And it goes all the way back to the Roman Colosseum and places that people just want to be together for events. So we're looking at all sorts of things. And in the ESports Stadium in Arlington, you're going to see here in this video in a moment some of the elements that make it special. But at a broad level, this is an adaptive reuse project. So we went into the Arlington Convention Center, which is an existing building. We took over about 100,000 square feet of that building. And we went through a very, very quick design stage that lasted about, Mark, 3 months. It was about three and a half months of design. And then we got into construction. We were to market 6 months after being under contract. So it's a really great example, really, of kind of a day one prototype for a venue of this type and scale, but a really great example of the way that $12 million of investment can get into a building like this. So it's about 75,000 square feet. Has a really, really great main competition space, which you're going to see more in a second, that can host events up from 250 to 3,000 seats. Some great food and beverage experiences. There's a gaming center. There's a world-class production studio, which Mark's going to talk about and others are going to speak about as well. And then there's some really, really good team and operation spaces. So those are some of the notable aspects. So I'm going to play the video here, and you'll see a little bit more.
pretty much it, folks. That's all I was able to actually sit down and interview for today. Stay tuned for more of the NAB Show 2019 from Doc Reo TV. It's Doc, I'm out of here. Peace.
Doc Reo TV.